Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Let's Play. Alright guys, it's time to start Shadow the Hedgehog's story.
Transmission from HQ. There's an SOS coming from Dr. Eggman's base. Our last communication with our agent was 26 hours ago. We expect an immediate rescue. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Understood. Initiating the mission now.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shadow the Hedgehog. Pretty much we're finally going to be getting his story. Now, Shadow the Hedgehog, for the most part, he's like Sonic in every single way, almost, except his stages have a bit more... I should say his story has a bit more emphasis on combat. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, it's pretty much, there's a couple of things that are different from Sonic and Shadow. Shadow has a wider range with his homing attack, and... I'm serious, even if you're not homing on enemies and just maybe using it regularly like in the hub world, it's pretty much one of the things I use for means of traveling in the hub world. He gets some pretty good range with his homing attack. He goes pretty damn far. You get some good distance with that thing. But going back to when I said the emphasis on combat is that after you use the homing attack with Shadow the Hedgehog, he'll pause in the air for a second. And if you keep mashing the A button, he'll do these bunch of flurries of punches and kicks that will, take down the enemy's health a lot quicker. It's kind of the equivalent of, just homing attacking over and over again with Sonic the Hedgehog, except quicker. So, there's at least that. But it's the same principle as, with Sonic and his homing attack. So, for those guys who are a fan of Shadow the Hedgehog for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox, sorry to say to you guys that there is no guns in this game. In fact, there is no weapons at all in Shadow the Hedgehog's story. And frankly, I could hardly care, but fortunately, you're not going to find anything like that whatsoever. It's just, like I said, I just don't care, so it didn't really bother me as much. Maybe to some people it will, but sure, they were helpful in that game. For the enemies with the giant health bars, I will say this, but here, I don't know. I frankly don't miss them. So, since this is Shadow's story, his partner is Rouge the Bat, and Rouge the Bat pretty much controls, like, Knuckles and everything like that. Except, she, just like Tails, she also supports bombs, which, oh god, what is the purpose of it? Seriously, what's the point of the bombs? I mean... in other games, she has the ability to, to fight and everything. What the bombs are just, as wonky as Tails bombs and everything like that. And I know this isn't the first time, Tails had those dummy ring bombs. I mean, he had them also in, Sonic Heroes when he was alone, but that was rare when he got Tails by himself. The only times you ever got him by yourself was when a certain type of robot would take your other teammates. And, he also had bombs in the Game Gear game, Tails Adventure, but I don't know, the tail swipe and the jumping on enemies was just fine to me. I don't know why he needs that whatsoever. Same thing with Rouge. Rouge had martial arts in Sonic Adventure 2. Why did they get rid of that? Seriously, why fix something that's not broken? I just don't understand. But as you notice, one thing that's returning from Shadow the Hedgehog is vehicles, except there's not a lot of vehicles as there were in Shadow the Hedgehog. To give credit that these vehicles do control a lot better than they did in Shadow the Hedgehog. So unfortunately, you're not going to find any mech walkers or any animals for you to take over their mines and, you know, use them as a glide or anything like that. No, you're not going to find anything like that. There's only 3 vehicles in here, but they control relatively fine for what they are. There are things I don't care about, but it's nice that they at least put something like that in there. So the last part of White Acropolis, you know, you're supposed to shoot down all the searchlights, and, you know, that spot I was is the perfect spot to get them.
Don't you want to know what this is?
Oh God, Rouge, put that shit away. My assignment was to rescue you, nothing more.
Fine. With you, it's always business. It seems they don't want us to leave.
Let's get this over with.
Well, geez, that was relatively fast. So, first boss of the game is, you know, the Egg Cerberus, and, you know, just like with Sonic, just like Sonic's fight with this thing, you know, it's pretty much the same fight with Shadow the Hedgehog. There is a few differences to this fight, but not so much, though. One of the big differences is that if you remember in Sonic the Hedgehog's fight with the Egg Cerberus, you know, there was the arena that we were in has statues, and with those statues we were able to run the Egg Cerberus into them, and half his health would go away. In 2 hits you can easily take him down. Unfortunately, in this arena there is no statues, and there's really no place that you can make the Egg Cerberus run into that'll take half his health away. So unfortunately you're gonna have to run him into the wall 4 times. So, yeah, this fight does drag on a bit longer than Sonic's fight. But, you know, there are some other things that he will do in the fight. We won't get to those until later, but in this arena, you know, it's we do got some structures and some searchlights and everything like that, but they're not that big of a deal. In fact, when Egg Cerberus, you know, runs into them, you know, they go down in 1 hit, so they ain't gonna be that big of a trouble to you when it comes to running Cerberus into the walls. And just like so, you also have some egg mechs all around and everything like that. The guys I just killed, frankly, they don't really serve that much of a purpose, and they're not that big of a threat because the arena is just so big itself. They're not going to be that big of an issue. And I think they're only there to rack up some extra points, so if you ever get a chance to destroy them so you could rack up those extra points and whatnot, it's better for you to get the S rank and whatnot. So definitely one of the big differences of the Egg Cerberus fight is that, you know, we all know what happens once we get his health halfway down. You know, he becomes less obedient. He'll start to do 180s and, you know, try to impenetrate you for making him run into the wall and whatnot. So once we get his health about 3/4, you know, he'll actually do about 2 180s, and there's something that happens when he does the second 180. Sometimes it happens with the first one, but more times it's that right there. Sometimes Shadow will lose his grip with the horn, and you just gotta be aware. Once he lets go, you know, you gotta home attack back on the horn, so that way you'll be able to get back on and control him. It's a bit... It can be annoying sometimes. I mean, it's the very first time you fight this boss, like, it was pretty damn annoying, but, you know, it's the same boss, you know, just with a few things here and there, you know. Just like with Sonic, you should have no problems with this boss, and you should get, easily get yourself the S rank with no problem. Filler.
Ah, Soliana, the city of water. It has a constitutional monarchy, you know. The primary industries are tourism and crafting precision machinery.
Not like that matters to the story.
The current sovereign is Princess Elise III.
Why does Eggman's base lead to an odd place like this?
How should I know? I just followed my orders and retrieved the item. Anyway, I have a little favor to ask of you. Could you escort me to the G.U.N. rendezvous point?
Where's the rendezvous point?
It's the ancient castle of Soliana in Kingdom Valley.
Rouge, respond. I've prepared the beams to go to Kingdom Valley. Go to the forest cave immediately.
Alright, so now since we're done with White Acropolis and the first boss, for Shadow's hub world, he's planted in Soliana New City. And I kind of see what they were kind of doing, why they had 3 hub worlds. You know, they put Silver in the Soliana Forest, they put Sonic in the Castle Town, and for Shadow, they put him in New City. Can understand why they have the 3 hub worlds, but guys, at this point in the game, you know, there is a lot of side missions that we can do with Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, seriously, there is not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 side missions that you can do at this part of the game. I'm not joking. And for the first side mission we're doing is we're just, you know, destroying mooks, and we're destroying Iblis creatures. What the hell? I mean, we haven't even met Mephiles yet and don't even know anything about Iblis, so why the hell are we fighting these creatures? I'm just trying to think right now. Is Mephiles already wandering around Soliana at this time? I can't remember. And I barely got the S rank. That's one of the few missions that are really, really stingy on how to get the S rank in here. And frankly, a lot of Shadow's side missions are like that. So even though you think you'll be doing relatively good, chances are you probably did, the game says that you've done worse than what you think. And that's just one of the few many things I think what's bullshit about Shadow's side missions as a whole. Because I already said it before, his side missions are the most bullshit out of all of everybody's side missions. So for the next side mission we're doing is, you know, we are chasing down enemies and shooting them. If you played any racing game before, you know, you should be used to the controls of the, you know, the buggy. You know, pressing down the A button is the acceleration, and the X is to, you know, brake and, you know, back up, and the right trigger is just for the missiles. So, you know, how the buggy controls in here, you know, it controls, yeah, I think I will go more into how it controls once we get to the second side mission that involves the buggy. But, you know, it's just a fairly easy mission and everything like that. Yeah, these enemies, the enemy AI cars, don't put up that much of a challenge. They don't even go that fast once you catch up to them. Just keep mashing that right trigger. The missiles will eventually get them, especially when they have an auto lock on, which is pretty nice. So that mission's relatively not that difficult. That's definitely one of the side missions that you should get an S rank. And if you get anything else, then obviously something's wrong with your playing skills. But I will want to take note of that certain side mission is that's the only side mission in the entire game that we go up to the guy, he talks to us, and it just loads up the side mission. What the hell? Every other side mission we had to do is like, we talk to the person, they load a 20-second load screen, and then they explain it, then 20 seconds later, we actually do this side mission. Why is that the only one that does it? Why can't all of them be structured like that? Like I said, we should be talking to this guy right here, you know. He explains us about, you know, the side mission. He should explain about what the side mission is during that one cutscene bubble. But no, they had to load up a separate loading screen just for that, and just that just irks the shit out of me that's the only side mission I know that does that. So for the next side mission here, we're kind of this guy, I think his name is Alfano, I think. Yeah, that's his name. He's kind of testing our brain here, making sure we know our numbers and I guess our memorization very well. So we're pretty much hitting the boxes and yeah, in a certain order. The numbers in a certain order. That's one irk I have about Shadow the Hedgehog stuff, is that most of his side missions do this. You talk to the guy, 20 seconds later, he explains what the mission is. 20 seconds later, you know, you hit all the boxes. And 20 seconds later, he'll give you the next question. You hit all the boxes. And 20 seconds later, rinse and repeat over and over again. It just, Shadow's missions do that a lot. And that's another one of the irks I have with Shadow the Hedgehog's missions. And, you know, this mission is really not that difficult. He'll give you all these numbers for you to, like, here, hit all these boxes in the correct order, or here's a series of numbers, hit the box that's not in the series of numbers, and everything like that. So, you know, the best piece of advice I could give you for this side mission is, if you don't remember, you can always talk to him, and he'll give you the same question again. But, you know, you could pause it while the numbers are displayed, and they'll stop the timer too. And you can either memorize it or write it down on a piece of paper or have it on your phone like I did. And from then on out, it's pretty easy. It's one of those easy S-rank missions as well. Just all it takes is for you just to know... It's frankly, the whole point of that side mission is for you to memorize and everything like that, but just how could it be memorization if he tells you the same numbers over and over again? I mean, it would make more sense. He's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't tell you what the numbers are. You should have known that the first time. Nope. He tells him again. Kind of breaks the purpose of that mathematician test. So now, since we got those 3 side missions done with Soliana New City, it's time to head into Soliana Forest, and there's 3 more side missions that we can do. And the next one we're doing is pretty much just like the first one we did, destroying more Iblis creatures, so there's nothing really new to talk about with the side mission. I mean, during the time of this video right now, I'm still recording a bit of Shadow the Hedgehog's story. I'm at least about, God, I would say about maybe 75% of his story done with. There's still a bit more that I have to do, but you know, I would have gotten Shadow's story done with earlier if I didn't have so many things, you know, occupying me. Because, you know, folks, I don't think I ever explained the uploading schedule for Sonic 06. As you guys could probably been seeing, is that I've been posting at least 1 video a day with Sonic 06. And for those who've been watching the previous parts, you know, I think I said it first in part 19 that I'm trying to get this LP done with quickly, so that way I'll be able to move on to my October Play segment. So, you know, just gotta get this one out of the way. I want to try to get it done as soon as I can, but until then, you know, gotta put up with this LP. And don't worry, folks, with Shadow the Hedgehog story and then with the final story, we're almost done with this whole LP. Then I could get on to bigger and better things. I swear to God. Alright, so in the next side mission that we're doing is, apparently this guy has been seeing a bunch of ghosts, apparently, in the Soliana hub world, and frankly, you know, it's not really ghosts. It's more of a... We've seen them before. They're the ghosts that he thinks he sees are pretty much Eggman's mooks, you know, the camouflage guys. So, you know, for this mission, you kind of have to play off the ghost gimmick. What do I mean by that is that, when you have a group of enemies in the vicinity, if you see one sort of camouflaged enemy, you want to go after that camouflaged robot first, because it's kind of like a screen nuke. If you get that guy, all the rest of the pack of robots in that group will die. You know, it's kind of like you know, kind of like the leader robots with the little robots, the red guys, those guys. You know, if you take them out, all the rest of the bots, you know, die. Same thing goes with this one. If you find a camouflage robot, you know, take him out as soon as you can, because this is another mission that's really stingy on how you S-rank it. I don't know if it has anything to do with what benefits you more to get the S-rank. Doing it quick, getting more points, or just maybe getting more rings. I'm not too sure, but if you try really quickly, that's the best thing I can give you, is that you gotta do this pretty quick. So I got it done in a minute and 26, and let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I did good, but no, apparently I got myself a D. Yeah, it's just, like I said, it's one of those really, really stingy side missions, and I hate when stuff like that, they don't explain it very well, and then you're robbed of that S rank or a better rank. But with that, we only got one more side mission to go in this desolate hub world, and even with Shadow the Hedgehog's homing attack, I just, man. This place is just way, way, way too damn big. So, here we are for the final side mission that Dante's going to give us. What does he give us? Well, it's called the Buggy Ring Race, and judging by its title, you guys probably know what's coming up. Yeah, we're in the buggy, and we're going through rings. Yeah, so this is all what the side mission is. The thing is about the buggy is, going back to its controls, is that the handling for the buggy can be kind of stiff. Well, actually, it's not kind of stiff. It's actually really stiff. So the best piece of advice is, like, when you're going around these sharp corners, you know, let go of the acceleration and just, you know, tilt the direction you need to go to with the analog stick. That's probably the best piece of advice I could give you, because if you put the acceleration down while turning, you know, you ain't gonna turn in time. That's why that one ring I had to I passed by, I had to back up into. Perfect. And even with that, you know, the rings are placed in very close to each other, but it's those turns that will screw you over at the end. So you would have to back up and, you know, go through the loop again. It's the buggy, you will get used to it, but I do wish the handling was a bit better. So next time, folks, we're going to be heading off into Kingdom Valley with Shadow the Hedgehog, so I'll see you guys for part 22.